All right, hey, what's up? Thanks for checking out my channel. Doing some more booze reviews today. One of my favorite types of reviews to do. And we're down here at Folly Beach, chilling out. A little bit cold outside. Literally, we're chilling out. It is January 1st, 2018. Anyway, doing some booze comparison reviews and also reviewing some of this Kirkland, aka Costco brand, 18-year-old Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey. We're going to compare it to some other single malt, which I'm pretty sure is another Speyside whiskey, and I'll explain that here in a second. But first of all, start the video off, and again, thanks for checking out the channel and all that good stuff, and putting up with my poorly produced, quickly shot videos. Got my dad here with me, and my dad does not drink Scotch, whiskey, or hardly stuff at all. Never has, never really liked it, right?
Right.
You know, so he's a good helper with these kind of things to have an impartial point of view, because now I definitely believe myself that there's a difference between really cheaply produced shit box booze like Fireball or some stuff like that, you know, Taka, vodka, those different types of things, and at least a decently produced spirit. But I've always been very skeptical, because I've done a lot of sales and marketing for a living, that a lot of the stuff between the decent to mid-range to ultra high-end versions of a lot of consumer products really aren't that much different. And even though they might be different in composition, the average person can't tell the freaking difference. Okay, so anyway, what do we have here today that we're testing out? Well, first of all, my dad's asking about Scotch, a little Scotch 101. So, Dad, in Scotland, well, first of all, it has to be made in Scotland to be called Scotch.
Right.
Okay, but it's basically whiskey in a sense, like how they distill it and do everything else, just like Jack Daniels is or something like that. Okay, now there's different regions in Scotland. North, south, east, west. I mean, just different geographical regions. You got the Highlands, the Lowlands. Speyside, what we're doing here today, is like an island that's off of Scotland, which is an island itself. And then there's Isla Scotches, that's another island. There's Skye, which is another island. The island of Skye makes a Scotch, and that's called Skye Scotch. There's a island called Isla, and Scotch that comes from there is called Isla Scotch. So, and it's very peaty, and there are different characteristics and traditions of how those different ones are made. I'm no super Scotch expert or whatever, but then as you can see here on this one, then you can take so this is Speyside, so that's made in the Speyside region, aged 18 years, and it's done then in a sherry cask finish. Meaning, once they did it, they put it in that sherry, that cask that old sherry was in,
Right.
and then put that in there, which then
Change the flavor.
change the flavor, pull some of that out of the sherry. Okay, so here we are with, as well, the Kirkland version, which is Costco. Now here's this Lismore. Now I picked this up because it was right at the same price point. So this in Costco was just over $50, like $52. Okay. Now, a normal 18-year-old of any decent Scotch brand, and I just say decent when I mean by their prestige, I don't know if it's good, bad, or otherwise, is closer to $100, okay? So that was about $50. This, in the liquor store that I found it in, I'm not even sure if it is a Speyside. It just says that it is distilled and bottled in Scotland and has this address for the company, which is in Speyside. So I'm assuming that's a Speyside, and it is a 18-year-old, so it says. Now, in researching Lismore a little bit more, a lot of people even said, like, yeah, it's not really from a distinct distillery, and it's sort of a cheaper brand. I mean, that's just the most basic, quick research that I did online. So here's my point on this taste comparison. Number one, hey, is this any good? Well, I guarantee you, once you have about two of them, you'll think it's pretty good. But my point is, if that's supposed to be a better quality and that's supposed to be a cheaper quality, can I tell the difference? Now listen, I am a novice Scotch drinker, okay? Now, I know a little bit about it. I've certainly had lots of nice Scotch before, this, that, and the other thing. I don't claim to be any kind of expert or anything like that. I'm just a real person that actually, you know what? I'm pretty much the Scotch market's target audience, though. I make a decent living. I have no problem buying $50, $60, $100 bottles of booze on a fairly regular basis. And yes, like every other human being, or most other human beings, I am influenced by marketing and wanting to have cool and unique stuff. Question is this better than this, or can I even tell the difference, right? So anyway, I'm going to walk out of the room.
And this costs how much?
They both cost the same.
Okay.
They both cost the same, but...
This is supposed to be better?
No. This is the Costco brand, which is supposed to be better, but it's supposed to be... This Costco brand is supposed to be just as good as a $100 bottle. Okay? Of 18-year-old Speyside.
Okay.
It's supposed to be just as good. This... But people will hate on it. Oh, it's the freaking Costco brand. It's cheesy. Okay?
Walmart brand or something.
Yeah, they want that fancy brand. You know, oh, this is the Glen Morangi or whatever it is, or the Macallans. No, well, actually, in Scotch 101, you got all your single malts, which is one batch. Johnny Walker is all blended.
Okay.
So there are two big differences there.
Okay.
Johnny Walker blends different scotches to try to give you a consistent year after year experience.
Like wine.
Like wine. Very much so. Okay. Now, so this is supposed to be like a $100 bottle, but you're getting a good deal because you're getting it from Costco. Okay. This, from what I could see online, is supposed to be kind of be a cheap version of it, even though it's single malt and everything else. It's just not highly regarded. I don't even know that it'd say it's cheaper. It's just not that highly regarded as a $100 bottle, and it was only it was actually about $48. So it was just a hair cheaper than that.
Right.
So anyway, I'm going to walk out of the room. What he's going to do is pour 3 different glasses. He's going to pour one of each, and then he's going to do a double of one, and he's going to put the bottles wherever to line up with it, hide it with this box. I'm going to come see if, first and foremost, which one I think's better. Totally impartial. I could give a crap. I'm just enjoying drinking some Scotch on the beach. But even more, I think, illuminating is, can I even tell the difference of the one he does the double pour on? You know? And again, I'm no expert. I don't claim to be. But I'm an aficionado, I would say. I'm a customer, that's for damn sure, of these types of things.
And you're a fairly average drinker.
Well, when I get real drunk, I can really dance and stuff. It's pretty good. But anyway, and I am gonna like rinse my mouth out with some soda water and then swirl it out with water as well to try to cleanse my palate. Anyway, I'm gonna walk out the room, pour them up. Let me come back in and see if I can figure it out.
Okay. Here we go. I'll take this first. Oops. Okay. We actually gonna pour him over here again. Okay. And then okay. So that's the way they were poured. And then that was the same as this. Let's cover them up.
All right, how do you look?
Okay, come on. Let's see what your palate says.
Yeah, listen, and I hope I can tell the difference, but I'm also somewhat cynical when it comes to this stuff too. Again, there's a definite difference between the worst mass-produced shit, okay, and something that is of some sort of quality. But anyway, let me just shut up. on the other side of the camera here. We'll start here first. You know, actually, I'm gonna start too. I'm gonna smell them all first without even tasting them. I think it's easier to clear out your nose than it is your mouth. Huh. Damn it, it's hard to tell. From a smell perspective, I think these two are the same. Don't give me any clues or anything whether I'm right or wrong. I'm just going to say that. I guess. I don't know. I can sit there and smell it all damn day, but anyway. Oh, by the way, hopefully you notice my scientific approach is why I got the blue-colored glasses here. So I don't see a difference in color in the liquor itself. That certainly tastes like a pretty good Scotch. Finished a little bit strong. But good. Yeah, not bad. I'd be certainly happy if you poured that for me in any situation. Now, whether I'm right or wrong, or whether it's a psychological thing, that tasted different to me. So, I don't know.
Okay. Was it better or worse as far as taste?
See, I think that's a very subjective thing with Scotch, you know? It'd be like, is that better or worse than fish or steak, in a way, you know? Or is your steak better off like a thick, juicy steak, or like a hamburger? Might be a better thing. When I say it tasted different, it might have had a spicier flavor to it. It might have had a smokier flavor.
You enjoyed it just the same.
For me, probably, yeah. You'd be a better judge of it as a non-Scotch drinker, what you thought was just better or worse. Well, I still would have to say I think those two are the same, but hold on. As far as which one I think is the best, that one, best or not, or whatever my opinion's worth, seem to be spicier, bolder, or whatever. It had an interesting finish. I mean, I don't know about best or whatever. I will say I think these two are the same.
Okay.
And
which is the best tasting? Are they just as good as the other?
This one's a little smoother for sure. There really is if I'm right.
Okay.
This one's and these two are the same, and this is actually a different one. I would say this one's a little bit smoother in how it finishes. And this one still is great and has a full body of flavors and tastes that Scotch does.
Okay.
Its finish is a little stronger. And if I'm right, I would say that this one seems a little, when I say pure, that it's just a more refined spirit, being that the aftertaste is a little smoother and almost even sweeter.
Okay, so you would really, this is a little bit better than this one?
I would prefer this one over the
Okay.
other.
All right, here we go.
All right. right, so what does that mean?
Okay. This and this are the same.
Really?
This is a Kirkland.
No shit.
Yeah.
So
you got the same taste test. And
so I did win the taste test.
Yes.
Okay.
But as far as quality,
So
and
that
you said this was a little bit better quality.
I'm just saying I preferred it better. It seemed like a cleaner spirit to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now honestly, when I was just saying that, I felt very confident. Ooh, excuse me. About my taste analysis of which was the double.
Right.
I felt very confident of that. And that being said, when I felt a little bit better about the flavor of this one, honestly, I'm telling you the super fucking honest to God truth. And this is coming from a dirty, slimy salesperson, which I've been in my former life. And I'm in marketing and sales. So I understand brand type loyalty. I am a fan of Costco. I like Costco. I like to think that their products like this typically are pretty good. And I'm not even saying this was bad. You know, it's okay and it's strong and it has some bold flavors. But this tasted, at least as you saw me say, like a better spirit. And before you get any further, this is actually 46% alcohol. So it is a little stronger. That's kind of interesting to note. This is only 43%.
Okay.
So that sort of maybe makes a little sense that this actually has more actual alcohol content. It just finished a little harder. But I doubt still, though, just to be honest, that my freaking palate could tell the difference between...
After one or two drinks, you wouldn't know the difference.
Well, I would say that it's a little bit different with some scotches on how it is. You know, it's almost like the difference between steak sauces and stuff. You know, what's better, Heinz 57 or A1?
But
you know?
Once you mix it with something, if you mix your scotch with a Coke or soda water,
Then it's out the fucking window.
You won't be able to tell the difference.
No, it's totally out the window. Anyway, what I think is very interesting from this little experiment is that's pretty good, and that's pretty good, and for the price point, it's not bad. Now I'm going to save on this bottle, and I'm going to find the most expensive bottle of Speyside I can. This might take a while. I'm going to find a really expensive Speyside 18-year-old single malt. The most expensive. And I like to collect this stuff, have it up on my liquor shelf. I'm also going to find a middle-of-the-road one, meaning, like I say, what you normally see, that $100, $120 bottle. I'm going to find one of those, and then I'm going to find that most expensive, crazy one. And we'll come back and do the same thing. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video. Thanks for sticking around for the whole thing. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this wacky shit. And have a great New Year's.